What's up guys, it's Mike for Sim Racing 604, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the best free car options for rFactor 2. I did this video recently for Assetto Corsa, and some of you immediately said, hey, can you do the same thing for rFactor 2? And of course I can, but the reason it took a little while longer to put this one together was because there's just so many great free options for rFactor 2. I find in fact that there's more solid free options for rFactor 2 than there is even for Assetto Corsa, so it's hard to sort of reduce the list to the point where I wanted it. But I've done that, and I've tried to reduce it for cars that either are a part of a series or a one-make series or something like that to make racing more enjoyable. There's a lot of great sort of one-off cars for rFactor 2, but I didn't want to include those in the list because you might just drive them once and then forget about it. So I did cars that either come with multiple or, again, are based on a one-make series. So let's jump into it. The first one here that you're seeing is of course the RSR Formula 3. This is the most recent addition to this list, or the most recently released car on this list. This one comes to us courtesy of ASR Formula, and I love this car for our Assetto Corsa, and I love it for rFactor 2 as well. It has a little bit more of an edge. I find that the curbs are a little more sensitive in the rFactor 2 version, but overall just an amazing car. So it is the first entry on this list. This is the ASR Dallara F317 Formula 3 car. Next up on the list, guys, the Flat 6 version 5.0. It's known in the real world as a Porsche Cup car, and immediately when you jump into this car, you'll be struck by how nice it looks and how great it sounds, and then you get out on track, and if you're anything like me, you're going to struggle a bit at first with this car. The whole reason is everything is so strongly rear biased in this car that it doesn't take much under braking or downshifting to send you in a full 360, and wondering how you're ever going to get a hold of this. If you just blip while downshifting, you're going to have a whole lot more success with this car, but that's sort of the appeal of it. And I talk a lot on this channel about cars that you have to sort of grow with and learn and adapt to, and this Flat 6 very much falls into that category. It's not something that's immediately grasped by all sim racers, and certainly not by myself. And but once you get used to it, it's an absolutely fantastic car. So great for wheel-to-wheel racing in one-make racing, Porsche Cup, of course. And just overall a blast to drive. So this is the second entry on the list, the Flat 6 5.0. Next up, guys, we have probably the strangest entry on this list. This is the Super Kart, and I'm not a big fan of karting in sim racing, if I'm being honest. I know a lot of people who sim race started out their real world racing experience in a kart, but it just never took to me. I was never a karting guy, but this Super Kart is really something special. This thing is as fast around most tracks as a GT3 car. It absolutely flies and is just so small that racing sort of has a unique spin on it. And the reason I say that is because, well, you can fit so many more. You can go 5 wide down a straightaway or something like that, and find angles you wouldn't normally go for in a regular sized car, but because it's a kart, you get to go for it. But again, it's as fast as a GT class car and absolutely blasts around the track, and has made me a convert. I actually enjoy this kart more than I thought I would, because again, not a karting fan. But the other thing to consider with this is the kart mod for rFactor 2, the official DLC, is quite expensive. So if you're looking for a free option, this Super Kart might just be it. Alright, enjoy a bit of action here at Guapore. Next up is a car, actually a car series, that I would argue is as good as anything in sim racing. This is another entry from ASR Formula, the 1991 Formula 1 cars. Somehow it's free. I've talked about this before. I don't know why they chose to make this one free of all their mods. It's mind-blowing. It's so good. It's at version 1.99 as of the time of this video, and you get, I don't know if it's all of the cars, but certainly most of the cars from the 1991 season. Each car has, you know, unique sounds. Obviously, liveries are unique driver to driver. Here we are in Senna's car, and there's just not enough good things. It's as far as mod cars go, pretty much perfect. I think you'd be nitpicking to say anything's wrong with these cars, and they're just a blast to drive. You'll be covering 3 pedals with 2 feet, as I like to say, and the stick shift is a real challenge. And again, you sort of grow with the car, you get to know it, but it's one of the most rewarding experiences in all of sim racing, and just absolutely fantastic. So the 1991 F1 mod from ASR Formula is the next entry on this list. Now let's do a little time at Leicester. Next up is the second sort of crossover from the Assetto Corsa Best Free Mods video. This is the FVR V8 Supercars, and I talked a bit about this in the Assetto Corsa video about how I've come to enjoy V8 Supercars. They are not big in Canada, but I've come to really enjoy sort of the rough and dirty nature of these cars and just how they get thrown around the track, and it translates extremely well in this case to rFactor 2. As you can see, it doesn't take much to break the rear traction of this car, and that's half the fun. So you're going around a corner understeering while you pin the gas and kick that back end around and just try your best to hold on, and overall the experience is outstanding. So a very nice free mod here with the FVR V8 Supercars. So let's take a look at a little bit of action, and then we'll be on to the final car of the list. Lastly, guys, and certainly not least, the mak-corp Group C cars. It's as good as anything in sim racing. We get 3 cars so far with multiple liveries for each, and such a great driving car. It's at version 1.1 and is, in my opinion, as good an experience in Group C as you can possibly have in sim racing. So if you're a fan of these Group C monsters, I don't think you'll do much better than this. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Let me know in the comments, what rFactor 2 free mods are you enjoying? I hope this helps. I'll drop a link to the cars and the tracks in the description, and we'll see you next time.